On July the 23rd, 2024, two brothers ran away from home to do the TransAmerican Trail. When they finished it up, they weren't quite ready to go home yet, so they headed down the Oregon coast into California to see the Redwoods. Well, it's Thursday, October the 3rd, and as you can see, we're not on the Tat. It's a little different over here in the background. We are in the Redwoods forest. We're taking a little
sabbatical
from the trip. I mean, we actually slept in this morning in a hotel room. We got up slowly, got out, and it's a little nippy out here. We're having a good time out here, but we thought this is a good time to talk about our last day that we spent on the Tat.
And it was a,
true adventure.
Yeah,
for sure.
We thought about maybe going back and retracing some of our steps to get back where we were, but after that ride, it was like, okay, that was an adventure enough for anybody.
Yeah. So we got up that morning and we were in Devil's Flat campground, and we woke up to 43 degrees. That wasn't bad. And then we got out of our tent and we had a 9-degree drop. It dropped down to 34 degrees.
The craziest thing ever. It's like, okay, we're good. And all of a sudden it's like, are you frickin' freezing?
Yeah, it was cold. So we had our classic breakfast of coffee and a Cliff Bar, packed up and headed out because we didn't have that far to go. And we had some really decent roads. I mean, we had a little bit of blacktop, but frankly, some of the blacktop we had was worse than the county gravel roads.
Yeah, it said rough roads ahead, and they meant it.
They meant it. I mean, the whole
when it says sunken,
yeah,
it was sunken.
Yeah, the roads were just kind of washed off, and we knew there was an area that had like a sinkhole or a side that was washed off, but we thought that maybe we can get around it. So we decided to check it out. I'm glad we did, because at that point I made my greatest discovery of my trip, something that I've been wanting the whole time. And this is October. I didn't expect to find blackberries, and there they were, blackberries. And they were slightly
He was
shaded.
like a 5-year-old when he saw those blackberries.
Oh, they were sweet. They were sweet.
Well, you ate one and it was like, whoa, and then you tried another. And
it was sweet.
Yeah, he even brought me a handful of them.
It was good stuff, but I had to keep Dan on guard.
Yeah, he said, watch out for the bears.
Yeah, because it's that time of year. They're eating up, so they want to eat, put on some fat so they can take their little nap. So I filled up with blackberries. That made that turn all well worth it. And then we headed to Port Orford, and we ran into just a little bitty roadblock lane. I mean, literally it was about this wide, and it just was in the middle of the road, and there was the hole. What was left of the road was about this wide and was slanted about this angle,
with a root that stuck up in the middle of it.
So I got Dan to walk it, and rightly so, he decided that wasn't really a good move on our part.
Yeah, it wasn't worth the consequences if one of us missteered and went down the edge.
So we had to do a workaround, and the workaround was a pretty nice, decent road.
Until it wasn't.
Well, it went through this area that was logging.
A lot of logging.
And the roads changed, so what the GPS was showing us and what was the reality of the roads was totally different. And then we came upon a gate that
a big steel heavy gate
that was locked, and there was another path about this wide, and I'm like, okay, let's drag the bikes under or go around, and Dan, and rightly so, said, no, let's not try that.
Yeah, because even if we did work underneath that gate and we got down 10 miles down and ran into another that we couldn't get under, then what?
Yeah, but it wasn't an active logging area. I mean, they had pretty much stripped everything out, but he's right. So we took off and we started going. We found another route back to the Tat, and it was a beautiful road. It was a great road. Matter of fact, Dan got to experience what he wanted to on this trip through Oregon, which was what?
I'm not sure. What was it?
Moo.
Oh, yes. Came around a turn, and there was
your hair looks pretty good though. By the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
There was a Black Angus grazing with about 5 or 6 other cows, and I'm looking at them going, what kind of cows are those? And then they heard my bike, and they raised their heads, and they were elk. And those elk were every bit as big, if not bigger, than the cow. And of course, they ran off, and David was eating my dust that day, so he was behind me, and he didn't get to see them. You know, I was so disappointed. And I didn't have my camera running, so oh well. I missed the opportunity to catch live elk instead of just seeing something that the bow hunters were taking home. So but it was pretty impressive.
And also, I glossed over the blackberries and asking him to watch out for bears. But what did you see earlier in that day?
Oh, I actually did see a bear.
Yeah,
but it was a little cub. We were coming around.
Where was Mom?
Yeah, we were coming around, and I'm like, wow, that is the biggest black cat I've ever seen. What kind of cat is that? And then it dawned on me, it's a cub, as he ran up and scurried up the side, and it's like, okay, I could just feel Mom looking at me. So, yeah, we got through there pretty quick.
So we've gotten to see a lot of wildlife on this trip, a lot. It's pretty cool. So we're plugging along in this forest road. I mean, we're down this road 25, 30 miles, and boom, there's another infamous yellow gate.
Yeah, big, steel, heavy gate.
And is it locked?
Yep. It was locked with the weirdest lock I've ever seen. It had like 5 pull tabs on it. And, maybe we could have tried to figure out the combination, but
this time
we were able to get around.
We got around it. Yeah.
It was a little, I could see the gritting of my brother's teeth as he was the first one through it. But
we were going through it. There's no way I was turning around.
Whether we scraping paint off the bike or not, he was getting through there.
Around it or under it, we're not backing up. Because the other thing is, at this point, we're starting to run out of daylight. I mean, we're still a little ways from
It was getting quite a bit later, and we like to be out on the tap.
Yeah, we were out, by this time it's 5 o'clock, and, it's starting to get dark, dusky. It's pretty, we like to be off the trail about 4. It was late. And we finally pop out on 101, and we're 5 miles from Port Orford. We're back on the TAT, and we pull in, and we got to go to the Castaway by the Sea Hotel, the infamous one. And it was great. I wanted to go to dinner at the Crazy Norwegian for fish. No.
But they weren't open.
They weren't open. Matter of fact, they weren't open the whole time we were there. They weren't going to open till the day after we left. So I was kind of bummed out. But we asked where to eat dinner because, dinner the night before was your favorite beef stroganoff. Which,
oh gosh, yeah, that freeze-dried stuff.
That stuff is nasty.
But you know what? I ate every bite.
we did, and we did, and we didn't complain at the time. So we were glad we had it. So we got recommendations to go to the
that wasn't the double
Salty
D,
Dog.
Salty Dog.
The Salty Dog, and it's Monday Night Football.
Oh gosh,
it's a bar. It was we got spaghetti and meatballs and too many breadsticks, and for me too many beers. That's why we didn't record this the night of. Because I went back and I crashed. I crashed and burned, went to sleep. And we spent an extra day there doing a little recouping and checking out the area, checking
over the bikes. My bike did experience a large stretch of the chain.
Yeah.
So my brother chided me. No more wheelies, ride slow. We got to make it.
Pop that front wheel up.
Got to make it through the rest of the trip.
Yeah. So we did a little minor maintenance stuff, checking things out and checking the town out. It's really an amazing place. We also ate dinner at we ate lunch at the. What was it? There's a little deli there on the right.
Oh yeah.
Pot something, two cove.
The sandwiches were very hearty.
Yeah, great.
Very
place
hearty
for sandwich.
sandwich.
Yeah, you could split. We could have split them, and it would have been fine. And then we had dinner at the.
Oh, that's where we had the fish and chips.
The fish and chips were
really
good.
It was rockfish.
Yeah, it was the dive bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it earned its name because they had a problem with their AC unit, so the doors were open, and we were fighting flies all night long. Jeez, it was like, oh, it was pretty rough. I mean, we covered things, but the fish and chips was really good.
Yeah, the fish was good. Yeah. They know how to cook their fish.
So we crashed and burned, and then the next morning we headed here, and we're down in Calmouth, California, and we're checking out the Redwoods. So we're going to spend a couple days here before we head back up to Medford and put the bikes in storage.
Yeah, it's the Yurok Indian tribe.
Yeah.
Yurok,
yep.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. My recommendation is to stay in Crescent City.
Yeah, Crescent City.
Crescent City. If you're going to come down this way, stay in Crescent City.
Because there's really no place to eat.
There is no
in
place.
Klamath.
Yeah, no place to eat in Klamath. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're going to have dinner in Crescent City, roam around some more, spend the rest of the day here, and tomorrow check out some of the other redwood forest areas south of us, and then head up on Saturday to Medford. Like I said, put the bikes in storage, and we're going to fly home. And with any luck, the ladies have finished the cleanup from the hurricane. Helene, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably saving.
Yeah, I know Sue is.
Yeah.
She's like, it'll be here when you get here.
So it's kind of a bittersweet end to the trip. It's like, it felt funny not having to get up this morning and jump and run and get going. I mean, it was kind of good being able to wake up slow and stuff, but it does feel funny. It's going to be a little hard to adapt to coming back to not riding the bikes in the dirt every day.
Yeah, every day. And we actually found a car wash and washed the bikes off.
They're clean.
And
we're clean.
Wiped our gear off, and wow, what a difference that made.
It feels weird to be clean.
It is odd.
Holy cow. Yeah. I mean, not have to go 3 days. Well, we won't talk about that. But yeah, and it's going to be a good month or so before I get our bikes. So we're not going to be able to get in the woods for several weeks. So we'll see.
Anyway,
all right.
We're good.
We're good. All right.
We're gone.
Bye.
Leaving out of Port Orth on Highway 101 down the Oregon coast was an amazing ride. Thing is, you never knew what you were going to see, particularly in Oregon. There's all sorts of things on the side of the road, besides the beautiful seashores. It's an awesome ride, even though it is tarmac. That old saying is true, ask and you shall receive. And oh boy, did I find another blackberry patch. We found a couple of them along the 101. Really surprising to me in early October to find blackberries. Yum.
Klamath, California, and looks like David's checking us into Holiday Inn Express, where we will venture out into the different redwood forest over the next couple of days.
See what I did?
Quite the tree behind you there. Look at that. You know, I mean, how old do you think that stump is? Golly.
pretty magnificent. We'll climb up here and have a seat, Dave. Oh, look, steps up the back? No. Wow. You could crawl through the middle of a redwood, Dave. Yeah, gosh, you just really can't get the perspective as to how big that sucker is without standing next to it or something. Yeah, that's a big tree, Dave. Oh, you found a bench, did you? God, did you hear him creak when he sat down? Oh, he's waving at herself. That's my brother.
Alright, so we're in the Redwoods. As you go down the California coast, there are a lot of park areas where there's outcrops of redwoods, and it's mystical going through there. We tended to go even slower than we did on the TAT, just going through it, because it's just it's calming. And it also starts you reflecting on, oh, I am so glad we did this, because just to stop cold turkey coming off the TAT would really be tough. I mean, we took our time going down the coast and enjoying the redwoods, but it did give us a lot of time to reflect, and reflect we did. We already started planning out our next trip. So in 2025, we're going to do the Continental Divide. We're already figuring out how we could start that trip and how we're going to end up, and we were really starting to look forward to that. And then when we get home and get our bikes back, we're going to do local trips into the Florida swamps to keep in shape and keep things in line. And we're just getting all pumped up to get ready to do another trip, and we're not even home yet. Talked much about it, but you know, my little brother's getting pretty darn close to 70, and I'm square in my 70s on this trip. And Dan had some health issues that were really pretty tough, and you know, I'm so proud of him for even attempting to do this trip, and he did great. I mean, I couldn't have done this trip without him, as many times he helped me pick my bike up, but it was really pretty tough on him. But I can tell you, I am so glad that we did this trip. And I'll tell anybody thinking about doing the TransAmerican Trail, don't wait. Even if you're not retired, just do it. Take the time. You'll never regret doing this trip. And do it with a good friend, or do it with your brother, who happens to be my best friend, and you'll never regret it. It'll give you plenty to think on, because you know what? If there's one thing you can't replace, it's time. And time gets away really pretty quickly, and things happen. So do it, and do it now. Yep, time does fly before you know it, and things do happen. It's 2026, and I'm just finishing up on doing our videos from the TransAmerican Trail, and we were supposed to have done the Transcontinental Trail, and it didn't happen. things just sort of happened to my brother and I. We were doing some training in Richland, out in the woods, and it had rained, and we were going around a single track between some trees, and Dan hit a root and slid into another tree and messed his shoulder up. And then trying to get out of the woods, he got into a big Florida swamp puddle and twisted his ankle, and the boy was pretty hurt. He ended up having to do surgery and get a shoulder replaced, but he is now going through rehab, and he's doing pretty darn good. And, I didn't want my little brother to outdo me, so the week after he did that, I was out running single track with somebody that was, probably 45 years younger than me, and I had just made the decision to get rid of my DRZ, which did great on this trip. I mean, the DRZ 450 is a great bike for this trip, but for me, it was a little top heavy, and I really couldn't, when it's loaded, I couldn't pick it up. So I went with a different bike. I got a KTM EX350, which is a totally different animal. I was probably on my third or fourth ride in the woods with it, chasing this guy on a single track. Man, that bike is wonderful. And I had almost caught him, but it had raining, and it rained, and the rear end slipped out, and I ended up messing up both my knees and had to have surgery on one of them that just didn't go well. So I've been doing rehab. So my brother and I have been off the bikes through pretty much all of 2025 and going through rehab and just getting back on riding a little bit of street bike riding. And we're now, matter of fact, he was talking to me yesterday. One of his buddies that he grew up with in grade school and high school had called him up and was talking about doing some single track up in Colorado. So now we're talking about going up into Colorado this summer, maybe up Sargent's and stay up there and just ride some tracks and just relax and have a good time and maybe do some BDRs. We're just going to have to get back in the woods and take it easy and, pretend we're a little older than we are. I mean, God, that KTM was like a fountain of youth, man. I got on that bike and I swear I felt like I was 21 again until I crashed. But you know what? Riding bikes is fun, and every moment you're out there riding is well worth any kind of risk that you can go. It just makes you feel alive again. And when you're doing it with family and friends, and it's well worth the expense of time to do it, because you're always going to remember it. Because I'll tell you, some of my best memories have been on going on the TransAmerican Trail. Just do it.
Did you see the car pull in behind us when we turned on this road?
Moving right along, going down. What was the name of this road again? Yeah. Albrenner offshoot on the prairie, Elton Prairie State Park, California, in the Redwoods. It's a gorgeous road. Never ride too fast on this road. Yeah, it's a spectacular view. Expect fairies to pop out of the woods or out of the trees. Remember, no wheelie popping. Your chain is done. It's well worn. You gotta be able to ride these bikes another day. Yeah, tomorrow we won't have this spectacular of view, that's for sure. It's pretty funny that we're the two motorcyclists on this road going the slowest. The cars that we've seen on this road have been flying through here. It's like, why do you want to do that? Especially since there's hikers on this road too. People need to be respectful. Especially in areas like this, it's the park. This is, yeah, right. This is, it's not like a typical forest road. And it is Friday. It is amazing that all the campsites have been booked for months down here. I've actually even been braking more on this road because I really don't want to even hear the engine that much. It's hard to get the scale of these trees until you got somebody up against it and you just realize these things are mammoth. Even really the big ones, you know? A tree 2,000 years old. It's just mind-boggling. Yeah, it is pretty cool, isn't it? Isn't that tree cool? Yeah, I saw it when I came up. It's just amazing to read. Yeah. Way cool ride. Glad it was over.
We are in the woods again today. Just a different redwoods forest. Hanging down in here. It's just, I mean, look at it. It's just mystical. That's all I can say. It's just like an enchanted forest. So different than what we experience in Florida. I mean, the size of this is just massive.
When you put two country boys in the woods, particularly the redwoods, you're going to get some tomfoolery going on. Dan loves to pose with those trees. I loved hugging them. And I won't even begin to tell you what that boy was doing right there. It's just not right.
Okay, Dan, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. No, come on, a little more. Kind of put a little more oomph into it. There you go. 1, 2, yeah, come on. Great. I don't hear any running.
But then again, you just got to have fun when you're out there in the woods. And trust me, we had plenty of fun. Once we went through the redwoods, it was time to head back up into Oregon. We went up into Medford because we're going to catch a flight out there to get on back home to Florida to the wives and our honeydew list. We left the bikes in a storage unit that we prearranged with Alan's motorcycle transport, and he was going to bring our bikes home for us. So it was kind of a bittersweet end, but we knew our bikes were in good hands, and I guess we were sort of ready to go home, but sort of not.